This is Dr. Shaniva Early, a craft doctor, and I am here with a little show and tell. Just a quick little bit to show you what I have been working on. So, I'm not sure if you've seen any of my other videos, but I was working on this color picture by Coloring Bliss, Jennifer Stay. This is one of her designs, and I started working on this, and I finally finished it. I wasn't not sure if the colors was going to work that I chose, but I used her coloring system to do this design. She has a wonderful coloring system slash reference guide. It's called the Quick Color Picker. So this is the Quick Color Picker, right? And I was like, oh, that's so cute. It sounds cute, but I don't think I could do it. It doesn't make sense. But when she explains it, it worked. And it worked for me. And so what I did was, she has all these little shapes that you can cut out and that you can use to pick your colors. And so I decided to check it out and see if it really worked. Well, it worked to pick colors. And so what you do is you cut out the little circles. I didn't have a punch. If you could see that, it's a flower. That's because that was the only 1-inch size punch I had. For some reason, I don't have a 1-inch punch. I have a 1-inch die, but that would have took me forever. So I just used the little flowers. And so what you do is you put um, your little circle piece here on the color wheel, and it tells you what colors look good together. And it's different because whatever one you put as your main color source is changes the color looks. See that? How about it? So if we did this one or this way, we get those colors. This way, we get those colors. So it really is really good. It really helped me pick the colors that I'm using on that I used on this painting, and it's a pretty big book, and it shows different kinds of brand colors and colors together, uh, and how these things work. It's really a nice guide. I would suggest going on over to Coloring Bliss and picking you up a copy of the Quick Color Picker. I printed out my copy because shipping right now is not only taking a long time, it's very expensive. Like, they know we can't get stuff through, so they're gonna charge us even more to get it. So I just printed out on my printer. But this is the picture that I finished doing. Well, of course, you hear my puppies. Always my cousin. He's always barking about something. The mail must be being delivered or something. So what I did was I did a light wash over the whole thing with Arteza, the watercolor um, paint. It was a light color, and I did a wash first. And I did the wash first because I wanted to be able to uh, paint on the surface and make it stay without damaging and warping out the paper so much. Because if you see me working on it, I was working on a square board where it was taped down, but it's still warped because this is not watercolor paper. This is, I want to say this is Bristol or something. It's not watercolor. Nina. This is Nina Solar White. This is what this is. So it kind of had to accept the color, watercolor. So what I did was I have a set of silverback. Is that what it's called? Silverback. Um, okay, where are you? Okay, so I have a whole container, duh, here it is, of paintbrushes. And I have the Arteza brand here. And I have these travel size of the silver black velvet. And so I used the silver black velvet as well as the Arteza set And these here are the Michaels store brand. I don't know how to pronounce that, Utrecht. Um, but I used an array of um, of my paint brushes for this. But this is how I keep them all together in a little um, case that I got from Dick Blick's. And this case is really good because you open it up like this, but then if you stand it up, you can stand it up and it'll stand up. It will stand up. If I don't have it on such a slippery surface, it'll stand up. But anyway, so, and then after I painted it with the paints, these are not the colors. I just wanted to give you some examples of the Arteza paint because I have the whole, I think it's 60, 100, I don't know. I have the set of the watercolor, the gouache, and the acrylics. And then after I did that, I took color pencil and I went in on top of the actual paint and colored in with my color pencil to get some depth to the painting, to this design. So for this, I started out with my Prismacolors, and then my Arteza pencils came in. And so I finished it up with the Arteza pencils. These are other expert pencils. So they have different light fast ratings and stuff. But I really don't care about any of that. Okay, so that's what I did. And then I did all the different colors. I have several different colors that I use for this. And it was just really fun to just see if I could do it and how it was going to turn out. I'm going to scan it and see and make it into a print if I can. I have not gotten back to them to find out if I can get a limited stock of maybe 50 or 25 of these because I want to sell them as a fundraiser for the nonprofit organization. Betty Harris Landis Cancer Awareness Center. But I'll keep you abreast of that when I find out. Okay, so then the next thing that I did was this cute card. It's the long way, where as opposed to being a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, this is a four. I think it's a four, like a 4 1/8 by 9. And so this is one of those long cards that we generally use for that's new now. It's the new thing to do longer cards, and you put them in the longer envelopes. So for this, I use Copic markers. I use the Copics. And so what I did for, say, the purple, I used a light color purple all over. Then I used a dark around the edges. And then I went back in with that light and blended it out. And I did that with each one of the colors. And then once I got done with that part, I took some of this Spectrum Noir glitter and I went over them just like that. Each one, right? I did that. So each one will have some sparkle to them. So that's where you can see, especially here, you can really see the glitter come through. And I made them all look glittery with this. And for the top parts, if you can tell, they're all like shiny. Like the top of a real bottle. I used this not Spectrum, Fun Stamper's Journey. This is some Journey glaze, and it's the same thing as um, Glossy Accent. It's the same type of thing as Glossy Accent. And so I did that on each one of them after I colored them in. So some of them look different, the tops, because if you're looking from a different way, your top will look different. I got this idea from someone online, Tuffy Lane, I think it is. I'm not sure what her name is, but she's on YouTube. It's TAFFLE, something like that. But I got this idea from her to do this, and I had the same stamp set, and this is an older stamp set, And everybody who know me know I'm a licensed nail tech and have been for several years. And so I thought this would be really a cute thing to do. And so I'm going to send this out to a friend who I want to lift up her spirits. So this was a cute, I think, a cute card, and it was different. And so this was just a quick 10-minute show and tell live that I came to do, because I don't edit. I do very little editing. I have videos that I already created, so I bring them babies up on Final Cut Pro, make sure that I'm not saying something wrong, add some text if I need to add some text somewhere, and then I let them go. I don't really cut, paste, and all that kind of stuff. I try to keep everything short and sweet. So this is where we are. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.